You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the forecasts for your area.
This local forecast has been brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts.
Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some active weather right across Canada. First, we're going to start out in St. John's. Now, this has been quite an impressive year when it comes to the snowfall, and we are going to be adding to those totals. Now, for Nova Scotia, continue to see this low pressure system clip the eastern end of the province, bringing some heavy snowfall through your day today. On the back end, we continue to see some light flurries into Tuesday, but this system is going to be a bigger impact across Newfoundland. Here's a look at some of the totals we can expect: 15 to 20 right along that eastern seaboard of Nova Scotia, but up towards Newfoundland, 30 to 40 on the way. When it comes to some of the snowfall itself, we're talking about rates anywhere between 3 to 5 centimeters an hour, all kicking start as you're heading into your Monday evening. Into the overnight, that's when we get that really high impact across the Avalon. That's your highest snowfall accumulation rates as well. The warm air lifts on the back end, transitioning over into ice pellets, freezing rain. But that's when we get that wraparound on the back end of seeing the heaviest snowfall for Gander and the north coast of Newfoundland, and then a few flurries on the back end as you're heading into your Tuesday evening. Strong winds obviously will be accompanying that poor visibility across the Avalon. So gusts upwards of 60 to 70 kilometers an hour, 80 across the Burin and the central regions of the province. But then you get blowing snow on the back end because the winds are really not going to weaken until at least Wednesday morning. A bit of a closer look at accumulations. The 30 to 40 plus just means that we are still going to be talking about that transition period, the ice pellets into freezing rain. If it doesn't transition completely, you can still continue to see a little bit of a longer period of snowfall, so you can increase some of those totals. 25 to 35 for Gander and into areas like St. Albans. So this is going to be one of those systems that we watch. On the back end, fairly quiet across southern Ontario and Quebec with some light flurries moving in. But here's Kevin McKay with a cross-country low.
Every weather pattern tends to bring some active weather somewhere, and when you have a Hudson Bay trough and this sprawling record-breaking ridge across much of the U.S., it is the perfect setup for a storm track to trek right across the entire length of Canada from BC to Newfoundland. And it's all going to start being fueled. This is kind of the headwaters is this Pacific low that's going to be pulling in the subtropical moisture, and that's where all the action starts. It's going to come in the way of some impressive alpine snow, Whistler, maybe half a meter, as well as some coastline wind for the first couple of days. Now, this moisture is going to survive the trek across the Rockies, and we've had a few weak clippers lately, but this is going to be a little more impressive, stretching right along the Yellowhead. So Edmonton, Saskatoon, Dauphin. We'll keep an eye on Winnipeg and Thunder Bay to see how impacted you get, but this isn't the end of the road for this moisture. It's going to continue to pull its swath of snow through northeastern Ontario, where that's the last thing you need, southern Quebec, and eventually the Maritimes, where you're also starting off the week with an impressive winter storm. Now, following clippers, we know the cold air loves to come in, so even though southern Ontario, you're not dealing with the brunt of the snow, you will be dealing with the surge of that purple coming south, and that's going to be driving temperatures down to finish the week right around the freezing mark, well below where you should be.
Check the Outdoor Index in our app for current air quality, UV report, and health and flu reports. Make the most of winter outdoors.